Breaking news that every South African senior needs to hear right now: SASSA has just confirmed major changes to grant payments happening this June, and the amounts are bigger than anyone expected. Listen, if you're collecting a senior grant, stop what you're doing, because what I'm about to tell you directly affects your bank account in the next 2 weeks. The government has approved our 400 deposits for certain recipients and our 300 for others, but here's the urgent part: these aren't automatic increases for everyone. I've just finished reviewing the official SASSA documentation that was released 48 hours ago, and there are specific eligibility requirements that determine which amount you'll receive. Some seniors will see their payments jump significantly, while others might face disappointment if they don't meet the new criteria. Here's what's critical: the June payment cycle starts processing in exactly 12 days, and if you don't verify your qualification status before the cutoff date, you could miss out entirely on these enhanced amounts. We're talking about potentially a 700 to a 100 more per month, money that could cover your electricity, groceries, or medication costs. The concerning part: SASSA hasn't been clear about notifying beneficiaries individually. Many seniors have no idea these changes are coming or what they need to do to secure the higher payment tier. That's exactly why I'm making this urgent announcement. Right now, thousands of pensioners are going to collect their usual amounts next month, completely unaware they qualified for more money. Don't let that be you. Before I break down exactly who gets a 400, who receives a 300, and the 3 simple steps you must complete by June 10 to guarantee your correct payment, I need you to smash that like button if you depend on your SASSA grant. Subscribe immediately and hit the notification bell, because I'll be tracking every update that affects your payments. Stay glued to your screen, because in 30 seconds, I am revealing the qualification checklist and showing you exactly how to verify your payment category before the deadline hits. YouTube script body, SASSA payment plan details. Alright, let's dive straight into what you came here for, because time is absolutely critical right now. The 400 payment tier is specifically designed for seniors who fall into what SASSA is calling the enhanced support category, and this isn't just a random increase they decided to throw around. The government has been analyzing cost of living data for the past 8 months, and they've realized that the current grant amounts simply aren't covering basic necessities for many of our elderly citizens. What they discovered was eye-opening, and it's directly responsible for these new payment structures we're seeing roll out. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and you need to pay close attention, because this determines everything. The 400 amount is going to seniors who can prove they have additional medical expenses that exceed a 300 per month, or those who are the primary caregivers for grandchildren under the age of 18 living in their household. But it's not just about having medical bills or grandkids at home. There's a verification process that SASSA requires, and many people don't even know this process exists. They've created a digital verification system that cross-references your medical aid claims, pharmacy purchases, and even clinic visit records to determine if you qualify for the enhanced rate. The 300 payment, on the other hand, is what they're calling the standard enhanced rate, and this applies to seniors who don't meet the higher tier requirements but still qualify for an increase above the traditional grant amount. This category covers seniors who live in areas with higher living costs, which includes most urban areas and certain rural regions that have been identified as having elevated food and utility prices. The fascinating thing about this calculation is that SASSA has been working with Statistics South Africa to map out cost variations across different provinces and municipalities, creating what's essentially a living cost index that determines your payment category. But here's what's really important, and this is where many seniors are going to get caught off guard. Your current grant amount doesn't automatically determine which new category you'll fall into. SASSA is requiring all beneficiaries to go through what they call a pre-qualification assessment for these enhanced payments. This means even if you've been receiving your grant for years without any issues, you still need to complete this new assessment process to access the 400 or a 300 amounts. The deadline for completing this assessment is June 10th, and if you miss it, you'll continue receiving your current payment amount until the next assessment period, which isn't scheduled until September. What makes the situation even more urgent is that SASSA offices across the country are already reporting long queues and appointment backlogs because so many seniors are trying to complete their assessments at the last minute. The smart move is to get ahead of this rush, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that in a moment. But first, you need to understand something crucial about the documentation you'll need, because showing up unprepared will just waste your time and potentially cost you money. For the 400 qualification, you need to bring proof of medical expenses from the past 6 months. This includes prescription receipts, specialist consultation fees, medical device purchases, and even transportation costs to and from medical appointments if you can document them. Many seniors don't realize that transportation costs count as medical expenses in SASSA's new system, but they absolutely do, and this could be the difference between qualifying for the higher payment or not. If you're a primary caregiver for grandchildren, you need their birth certificates, proof that they're living with you, which can be school registration documents or clinic cards showing your address, and documentation proving that you're their primary financial support. The documentation requirements for the R1-300 category are different but equally important. You need proof of residence, which seems straightforward, but SASSA has become very specific about what they accept. Municipal rates and taxes statements work, but they need to be recent, within the last 3 months. Rental agreements are accepted, but they need to be officially witnessed or notarized. Even informal rental situations can qualify, but you need a letter from your landlord along with proof of payment, like bank transfer records or receipts. Now, here's something that's causing confusion across the country, and I want to clear this up for you right now. Some seniors have been told they need to reapply for their grants entirely to access these new payment amounts, but that's completely incorrect information. You do not need to reapply for your grant. What you need to do is complete the enhancement assessment, which is a separate process entirely. This misinformation is causing panic in many communities, with seniors thinking they might lose their existing grants, but SASSA has confirmed that your current grant remains secure regardless of whether you qualify for the enhanced amounts or not. The enhancement assessment can be completed in 3 ways, and this is where you have some flexibility in how you approach this process. The first option is visiting your local SASSA office in person, which gives you the advantage of having someone walk you through the process step by step. However, as I mentioned, offices are experiencing heavy traffic right now, so you'll want to call ahead and make an appointment rather than just showing up. The second option is using the SASSA online portal, which is actually much more user-friendly than it used to be, and you can complete the entire assessment from home if you have internet access and feel comfortable with basic online forms. The third option, and this is one that many seniors don't know about, is completing the assessment over the phone. SASSA has set up dedicated phone lines specifically for these enhancement assessments, and the staff can walk you through every question while you have your documents in front of you. This phone option has been a game changer for seniors in rural areas or those who have mobility issues that make traveling to SASSA offices difficult. Let me walk you through what the actual assessment process looks like, because understanding this beforehand will save you time and reduce stress when you're going through it. The assessment starts with verifying your current information, making sure your address, contact details, and banking information are all correct and up to date. This is actually a perfect opportunity to make any necessary changes to your account, so if you've moved recently or changed banks, make sure you have that new information with you. After the basic information verification, they'll ask about your living situation. This includes how many people live in your household, their ages, and your relationship to them. They're particularly interested in dependents under 18 and adults over 60 who might be living with you, as these factors can influence your payment category. Be honest and thorough here, because they do cross-reference this information with other government databases, and inconsistencies can delay your assessment results. The medical expense section is where many seniors underestimate what they can include. Beyond obvious costs like prescription medications and doctor visits, you can include over-the-counter medications that you purchase regularly for chronic conditions, medical equipment like walking aids or blood pressure monitors, special dietary requirements recommended by healthcare providers, and even home modifications made for medical reasons, like grab bars or ramps. If you're applying for the caregiver category, they'll want detailed information about the children you're supporting. This includes not just basic information like names and dates of birth, but also details about their schooling, healthcare, and daily care needs. They particularly want to understand your role in their lives and how your grant income contributes to their support. One thing that's causing delays in assessments is seniors not understanding the financial disclosure section. SASSA needs to know about all sources of income, including part-time work, rental income from rooms in your house, financial support from family members, and even income from informal activities like selling vegetables or crafts. Many seniors worry that reporting additional income will disqualify them from grants or enhancements, but the opposite is actually true. Being transparent about your full financial picture helps SASSA make accurate assessments and often reveals that you qualify for additional support you weren't aware of. The timeline for receiving your enhanced payment after completing the assessment is typically 2 to 3 weeks, but SASSA has indicated that assessments completed before May 31st will be processed in time for the June payment cycle. Assessments completed between June 1st and June 10th will likely see their enhanced payment start in July. This is why acting quickly is so important, because waiting even a few days could mean waiting an extra month to see your increased payment. Here's something really important about the payment dates themselves. The enhanced payments will follow the same schedule as your current grants, so if you typically receive your payment on the 3rd day of the month, your R2-400 or R1-300 will come on the same day. However, SASSA has indicated that there might be slight delays in the first month as their systems adjust to the new payment amounts, so don't panic if your June payment is a day or two later than usual. Now, let's talk about something that could affect your enhanced payment that many seniors aren't considering. If you receive your grant payment through a specific retailer or cash payout location, you need to verify that they're equipped to handle the new payment amounts. Some smaller payout locations have daily cash limits that might not accommodate the higher $400 payments, which could result in you needing to collect your payment over multiple days or switch to a different collection method. The banking implications are also worth considering. If you're receiving $400 instead of your current amount, this could affect other means-tested benefits or assistance programs you might be receiving. While your SASSA grant won't be reduced because of the enhancement, other forms of assistance that consider your total monthly income might be affected. It's worth checking with any other organizations or programs that provide you with support to understand how this increase might impact your overall benefit package. For seniors who are supporting multiple dependents or have complex family situations, the enhancement assessment might reveal that you're eligible for additional forms of support beyond just the payment increase. SASSA has been expanding their support programs, and the assessment process is designed to identify seniors who might benefit from these additional services, including home-based care support, food security programs, and even small business development assistance for those interested in generating additional income. Looking ahead, these enhanced payment amounts are not one-time increases. They're part of a restructured approach to senior support that's designed to be sustainable and responsive to changing economic conditions. SASSA has indicated that they'll be reviewing and potentially adjusting these amounts annually based on inflation and cost of living changes, which means this enhancement could grow over time rather than remain static like traditional grant amounts have in the past. The verification process I mentioned earlier is also ongoing, not just a one-time requirement. SASSA will be checking periodically to ensure that seniors receiving enhanced payments still meet the qualification criteria. For medical expense qualifications, this means keeping good records of your healthcare costs throughout the year. For caregiver qualifications, this means maintaining documentation about the children you're supporting and their ongoing needs. Remember, the June 10th deadline isn't just a suggestion, it's a hard cut-off date that SASSA is committed to enforcing. After that date, the next opportunity to complete an enhancement assessment won't come until September, and those results wouldn't take effect until October payments. That's potentially 4 months of missing out on a $700 to $100 extra per month, which adds up to significant money that you can't recover later.